Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaimMD here. Today we're going to be doing a moveset video guide on how to use Garchomp in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So I'll be going over several movesets. They are in no particular order. And if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe. I'll be doing moveset video guides for multiple Pokemon. I have showdown lives featuring Pokemon as well as Wi-Fi battles and other things like a team building guide and a bunch of other stuff for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Gen 4 is really dear to my heart. So I'm excited to get back into it, especially to use Garchomp in a metagame where it was previously banned, but right now it's going to be allowed. So if you guys want to pick up Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I do have a Best Buy affiliate link down below if you guys want to support the channel even more. So the first thing to note, guys, is that this is pre-home metagame. So Pokemon Home is currently not out, which means that some of these sets may change after Pokemon Home comes out and Garchomp has access to Scale Shot again, and like Toxic and a few other things. But for now, these are the pre-home movesets. So let's get right into it because it's been a minute and I've taken up too much of your time. So the first set we have is Choice Band Garchomp. This takes advantage of Garchomp's really strong base 130 attack and also that base 102 speed. Being faster than base 100s like Jirachi and below make Garchomp a giant threat, especially in a metagame that doesn't have as many fairy types as we currently do, or as many steel flying types as we currently do as well. By that I mean that Choice Band Garchomp actually has the potential to do a lot of work since there's no Corviknight, there's no Celesteela, but there's also no faster Pokemon like Tapu Koko to threaten it with a Dazzling Gleam, or bulky mons like Tapu Fini, or strong Scarfers like Tapu Lele. Because this set takes advantage of its strong attack, your most spammable move is going to be Earthquake. Obviously with Earthquake, it being 100% accurate, don't really have to worry. It's going to 2-hit KO even physically defensive Clefable, depending on rolls, and just do some massive damage with Garchomp's strong attack. Your next move is either going to be Dragon Claw or Dual Chop. Now, the reasoning for both, because you can go Adamant or Jolly on this set. I think that Jolly is just the best because I think you always want to either be faster than base 100s, but also speed tie with opposing Garchomp, or on top of that, just have Garchomp be at it. You want to be able to get off as many attacks as possible, right? So having Jolly is basically the nature you usually want. But you could go Adamant if you go Dual Chop over Dragon Claw. The reason we have both this and another Dragon move is because you want a move like Dragon Claw so you don't have to lock yourself into Outrage when the opponent might have a Steel type or a Fairy type in the back to either resist it or be immune to it and knock you out with Moonblast or Ice Beam, depending on the Fairy type, if it's like Clefable with Ice Beam or anything like that. Moonblast obviously Clefable has too. So Dragon Claw just gives you a spammable dragon move that doesn't really have a drawback. It's just weaker than Outrage. Dual Chop is interesting because if you go Adamant Choice Band Garchomp, you actually can knock out Focus Sash Lead Azelf with the Dual Chop, and you can also knock out Focus Sash Breloom. So those are the options for that. It's good for substitute Pokemon as well. Maybe like substitute Gengar. It can be cool for the first one breaking the sub, the second one doing damage to Gengar. But I think that Dragon Claw is just better overall, plus it can't miss. Stone Edge is your third move. Now Stone Edge is nice because the main fairy types that deal with Garchomp, or the fairy types even in this game, right? You have Togekiss, and that's the big one that Stone Edge lets you hit because obviously you can't hit it with Dragon Claw. And then also the other fairy types in the game, for the most part, you can just destroy them or 2-hit KO them with Earthquake, right? There's Clefable, there's Gardevoir, there's Wigglytuff, there's Mawile as well, which is weak to Earthquake too. Even with Intimidate, you're knocking it out. So Stone Edge is nice. I guess you could go Poison Jab if you really want to hit them for just a little bit more, but Earthquake is going to hit them anyway. And the biggest fairy type that can actually, come in on you multiple times gets destroyed by Choice Band Stone Edge. Last move is Outrage. After you've cleaned up the steel types, after you've cleaned up the fairy types, you can just click your Choice Band Outrage. That's why if you're actually using Choice Band Garchomp, I recommend it with something like a Magnezone or a Magneton with Magnet Pull. That way you can get rid of Skarmory and just allow yourself an easier time at clicking Earthquake or Outrage, something like that. Just Magnezone is good too because it also resists the fairy type attacks coming out at Garchomp. But yeah, Jolly nature for the most part, that's what you want to do. Next up, because of that base 102 speed being faster than very prominent choice Scarfers like Flygon and potentially Jirachi as well. Who knows, just because Jirachi doesn't have Iron Head pre-home, but it will have Iron Head post-home, so it doesn't matter. Choice Scarf Garchomp is pretty nice because it's able to outspeed those base 100s and just has strong attacks in general. So the first two moves are the same, Earthquake and Dragon Claw, right? You want to be able to revenge kill a Flygon without locking yourself in Outrage. You want that Earthquake. It's good for Infernape, which is usually faster than you, but with a Choice Scarf, you're faster than it, unless it is Choice Scarf itself. And then your third move is Stone Edge or Fire Blast. Now, Stone Edge is there to, again, let you hit Togekiss. You're not going to do a lot without a choice item or without a boost of like Swords Dance or Life Orb or anything like that. But it's still nice. It's also good versus Gyarados if you don't want to lock yourself into Outrage in order to deal with it. Also, all of these sets, you see it on your screen, but all of them have Rough Skin. There's no real point in using Sand Veil because Sand is only 5 turns in this game. It's not like infinite like back in the day in Diamond and Pearl. So unless you want to cheese somebody with Sand Veil plus Bright Powder, usually you want to use Rough Skin just because when they touch you, they do damage. And we'll actually talk about why that matters in a later Garchomp set. But Stone Edge is there, again, hitting Gyarados, hitting flying types, and hitting, again, Togekiss, which is a flying and fairy type. But the secondary option is Fire Blast. Now, Fire Blast is just an option for Swords Dance Scizor because it actually KOs it, right, without any boost. You can go Naive Nature if you want on this, but Jolly is still fine. But if you are going Fire Blast, you can go Naive. Fire Blast can KO offensive Scizor. It's also good if you go Naive. It's a 2-hit KO on physically defensive Skarmory with Rocks guaranteed, which means that you can actually deal with something that could otherwise check Garchomp. But last move is Outrage. Basically, all you want to click if you get at the end, maybe you need to hit like a Latias or a bulky Garchomp or anything just for stronger damage. Outrage is your main thing. And this is really cool because Choice Scarf allows you to revenge kill even Pokemon like Dragon Dance, Dragonite because you are faster. The next set we have is Mix Garchomp, and this is specially based Mix. Now, this Garchomp aims at dealing with most of its answers, i.e. Skarmory, right? Because Life Orb Fire Blast is going to roast Skarmory, which is why you have the Life Orb. You also have Draco Meteor, so it's a special attacking Garchomp, and that does a lot to Gliscor, which can otherwise basically wall most variations of Garchomp. I think Gliscor is going to be a very important Pokemon in this metagame, and it's also one of the few Pokemon that has really good movesets before home anyway. So definitely going to be annoying, especially with that Poison Heal in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But Draco Meteor just does good damage. For example, physically defensive Hippowdon doesn't appreciate like a Life Orb Earthquake into a Life Orb Draco Meteor. It's also good just for weakening Pokemon that would otherwise be physically defensive, like maybe even like a random Rest Talk Gyarados, or if that even exists in this generation. I have to check if that's even like possible, because some certain combinations are just not possible at the moment. So I'm pretty sure that is though. But it's nice also versus like maybe a Dragonite, but also Gliscor. Like I said, Gliscor is a big one, right? You could 2-hit KO with Draco Meteor, which if it's physically defensive, you weren't doing that with Outrage after Poison Heal recovery. And then, of course, Stealth Rock. The aim of this is Defog is like Skarm. Skarm can like Defog. It's one of the Pokemon that can Defog, so you want to be able to threaten that as well, but you're the Rocker, so you also not only do you want to be able to threaten it, but you want to be able to get up rocks and deal with and knock it out. So like basically, I just said the exact same thing. But Draco's also cool for like Rotom Wash, for instance, which is electric and water right now, so you don't have to worry about like a random Will-O-Wisp because you're mainly going for special attacks anyway. So you're just going to do a lot of damage overall. That's like the main thing that you want to do with this Garchomp. You come in, you click Draco. It also knocks out max HP Garchomp, opposing max HP Garchomp, which is pretty cool. And it does more than Dragon Claw would do to Garchomp as well. So provided you do not miss, you are doing some big damage. Next up, we have Swords Dance Garchomp. Now this is there's 2 variations of this set. As you can see, there's the option of Salic Berry, and there's also the option of Leftovers. Salic Berry is if you want to use sub SD to get that speed boost to be faster than base 100s and below, just to have that +1 speed. So the idea is that you Swords Dance Earthquake, you have Substitute to bring you down to your Salic Berry, and you end up behind a Substitute while getting your speed boost. And then your last move is either Stone Edge or Dragon Claw. Again, Stone Edge plus Ground plus Rock is really, really good coverage, and it also lets you hit that Togekiss, lets you hit Flyers. But Dragon Claw is obviously really good too because you're able to hit Dragons for super effective damage. It's Garchomp Stab. Now, you do not have to run Salic Berry. Because Garchomp is plenty bulky, it's going to have multiple opportunities to get up substitutes. For instance, if a Heatran is in front of you, there's a pretty strong chance that the Pokemon that is 4 times weak to Earthquake is going to switch. So you substitute, so you're behind a sub, you're getting Leftovers recovery, so you're getting that your longevity, and you're able to Swords Dance freely in front of what comes out, right? So you're behind a sub, you don't have to worry about status or anything like that. So it just allows Garchomp counterplay to be a little bit harder for the opponent. In this particular scenario. So it's really dependent on you. And again, Dragon Claw versus Stone Edge is also dependent on your team. If you feel fine versus Togekiss or anything, just use Dragon Claw. Otherwise, Stone Edge is just good coverage overall. So we have more Swords Dance sets as well. So this is potentially... I really like this Garchomp because this is basically like SD Stealth Rock Garchomp. This is one that's really common in the current generation. But the idea of this Garchomp is to set up Stealth Rock and also threaten defoggers after with just strong boosted attacks, right? In the current generation, it has Scale Shot, so it's actually able to boost its speed, but there is no Scale Shot in this generation. Just yet. I don't know if that's actually in the... It'll be coming later, right? But I don't think there's no like TMs or... of Scale Shot, right? There's no technical records of Scale Shot, but I'm sure when I bring my Garchomp for Pokemon Home later, I'll be able to do that. But yeah, so the idea is be able to get up Stealth Rock, and then if my opponent wants to waste time Rapid Spinning or Defogging, I can do some massive damage to them as well. But the item options are Lumberry, Leftovers, Yachi Berry is also an item too if you want to be able to keep up rocks versus a Starmie. So that's always a cool option because Ice Beam will not knock you out, and if you're boosted, you'll knock them out with Earthquake as well. And so it's Swords Edge, Earthquake, and then again, the dilemma between Stone Edge and Dragon Claw is always up to you, right? If you want Stone Edge for Togekiss, if you want the Dragon Claw for the Dragons, I do think that if you decide, because as you can see at the end, there is the option for Stealth Rock or Protect. You can run basically Protect, and Protect is really cool because there are a lot of choiced Mons in this. For example, Flygon would like to run Choice Scarf because it has U-turn, it has momentum out of that. So if you go for Protect and you see that instead of clicking Outrage to knock you out, they're clicking U-turn, you can stay in and go for like an Earthquake or something on whatever else is coming out. So it's just a cool little option for this Pokemon that lets it do just a little bit more. It's like something that Terrakion used to run this back in Gen 5, where they used to do Swords Dance Protect sets, and when Latios came out, if they doubled out, or Lanners came out, and they doubled out or U-turned, you knew they were choice locked, or they were in a bad situation. So Protect just eases prediction, and if you're using that, use Leftovers for the longevity. Also, going on the idea of berries, obviously Yachi's really cool because it means that Starmie can't knock you out with Ice Beam. Same thing with Mamoswine's Ice Shard, so that's a really nice way of avoiding being revenge killed. But Bomberry is also an option for maybe opposing Garchomp that win a Speed Tie or a Choice Scarf Flygon, or Latias dropping a Draco. This just lets Garchomp basically do its thing, being able to get off more attacks than it normally would. Next up, we have Life Orb Swords Dance Garchomp, and this one's just strong, right? A +2 Life Orb Earthquake from Garchomp can knock out Clefable. And the cool thing about Clefable in this is, like, Clefable's a very annoying Pokemon in current OU, right? Current as in Gen 8 OU. It's a very, very annoying Pokemon. But it doesn't have Soft Blow. It doesn't have Soft Blow, which means its only recovery is Moonlight. So it only has 8 Moonlights, but like Life Orb Earthquakes just hit so much harder. You're definitely knocking out Togekiss at +2. Your Dragon Claws are stronger as well. You're knocking out Pokemon like Flygon and things like that as well. And you're really just able to just do massive damage and really just sweep. Obviously, the thing about running Life Orb on a Pokemon is that you are taking your life in the process, right? So you're lowering your longevity. So, for instance, if a Heatran is going for Magma Storms or Earth Powers, you're not getting that recovery back, and you're already taking 30-40% from Heatran, and then you're taking the Life Orb hit after plus hazards as well. So that's like the trade back, or the drawback of using this particular set. However, it does give you strength overall. Like, again, that Earthquake is doing massive, massive chunks to Clefable. And if they're unaware Clefable, for instance, you still 2-hit KO with Life Orb Earthquake on some sets. Like on some sets, you're 2-hit KOing it with Life Orb Earthquake, which I think is really, really cool. And if there's special defensive Clefable, for whatever reason, I do think that physically defensive Clefable is going to be the better one in this. If there's special defensive Clefable, then you are easily 2-hit KO and you're knocking them out. But yeah, like just to let you know the damage count, +2 Life Orb Garchomp Earthquake versus max defense, max HP Clefable is 94 to 111%. So just a little bit of chip and you can knock it out. That's like the big one. You're also doing massive damage to like things like a Powdon. You're doing more damage to Pokemon like Gliscor. You could put Outrage over Dragon Claw if you want for the overall damage. Like you'll knock out a Gliscor at +2 with Outrage. And then lastly, we have Tank Garchomp. Now, again, I don't believe there's any Rocky Helmet in this game, which is really interesting. Like, they really picked and choose what they wanted. But this set aims at using it as more of a defensive option, and the set is going to be Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Protect. Protect, again, for scouting. You can use it as an Infernape check, because Infernape is faster, but close combat. If it's Scarf, won't be able to 2-hit KO you. The other cool thing about Protect is that, again, Flygon, let's say it's Choice Scar Flygon, you're out with your Garchomp, and you're at full HP. If you're at full HP, you have leftovers for the recovery. If you're at full HP, Flygon can never knock you out with Outrage from a Jolly set unless it's a critical hit. And after your own rough skin damage, your no attack invested Dragon Claw knocks out Flygon. So it's pretty crazy, right? Like just how bulky this mon is. But this is better if your team needs maybe a better Heatran switch in. But again, you want that longevity. So you bring this thing in on Heatran, they go for Magma Storm. They're going to switch after because they don't want to die to Earthquake. So you get your leftover recovery. Whatever they bring in after, you can Protect on. Get even more leftovers recovery. So if you want a bulkier variation of it, go for it. Now, you do not have to run max speed on this. You could obviously run more defensive natures as well. But I think that as the metagame is still developing, right, because this is like day one, as the metagame is still developing, you'll be able to see what's super common and then do that. But I like the max speed initially for Pokemon like Jirachi, just based on hundreds in general, right? Like a non-Scar Flygon, I like being faster and being able to threaten it with a Dragon Claw, for instance. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll be doing this for other Pokemon. I hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe if you want. I'll be using these mons in Wi-Fi battles really soon. Just gotta, obviously, you know, it's going to take a little bit to get some Pokemon, but we'll be doing them even with the 20-minute timer. We're still going to be doing these Wi-Fi battles. So, once again, feel free to subscribe. If you want to buy the game as well, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, or pre-order Legends Arceus, use my Best Buy links down below. You are supporting the channel in the US only right now, unfortunately. But I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, my friends.